Well, good morning, mates. Happy Sunday morning. Hope you were all well. I thought I had a coffee date this morning with a friend of mine, but I think she was busy, so I am stuck with you guys. Lucky me. Hope you're all doing well. Today's topic will be how Ubuntu appears to be copying Chrome OS, the Immutables, and though it is not a sequel to the film The Incredibles, although it sounds like a movie, Ubuntu versus Chrome OS, the Immutables. Just a thought. All right. Like I said, I had some time this morning. If you are new here, or if you normally don't have a chance, to say hello because you live across the pond, as it were, like in Italy and Finland and France, I have time this morning. So please do stop by and say hello. If you missed this one, say hello anyway. And maybe I'll catch you next time. Always a pleasure. If you haven't already, check out some of my dad's tunes. These were songs he started sending to me during the pandemic lockdown. At the time he was stuck in Italy. I wasn't working for about a couple months during the lockdowns here. He was feeling depressed. I think we all were. So I said, Dad, if you want to keep busy, just go to your music vault and just start sending me some of these songs. One of his friends has a little studio not too far from where my dad lives. So it wasn't too much of a chore to send these songs. So if you like Italian music and or would like to support Total OS today, all the sales help fund this community of ours. I posted a couple songs here from his movie. We're still looking for a sponsor for the film. The film is called La Croce e la Stella, The Cross and the Star. You can see it there with the red thumbnail. Check out Salvatore Pate.bandcamp.com. If you buy the tunes, drop me an email. Let me know. Always nice to hear from you guys. But right now, another quick sip of coffee. I love my Keurig machine. Okay, give me a minute here or so to get started. And we'll talk about the Immutables. Let me reset the chat here. And let's see if anybody's here. Looks like the stream looks good. One nice thing about a 50-inch TV, I can do kind of like a split screen versus having multiple monitors where it can get somewhat cluttered. This way, with one big fat 50-inch 4K TV, I can't stream in 4K. My computers would just go they would just chug. One of these days I'll upgrade my systems. Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh is in the house. Hello, Yu-Gi-Oh, how are you? He says, hey man, nice show, keep it up. I'm trying to. Welcome, Yu-Gi-Oh. Are you still in Florida? Man, I miss Florida. I miss the flat roads, no potholes. I'm assuming still there's no potholes, right? Although sinkholes can be pretty nasty. Anyway. All right. Shall we wait another minute or two, see if anybody else pops in the chat? I know this wasn't scheduled, so I'm just listening to my dad's tunes. You're still in Florida. Very good. Yeah, during the pandemic, I have friends, Yugi, who live north of the University of Central Florida. And I wanted to go down and visit them, but my friends, they're both doctors, and during the pandemic they said, no, 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 you are not coming down here to visit me. I guess Florida was one of the worst states during the pandemic. And anyway, they're okay. They have a kid. Their son just had a baby. Got married last year or year before. I lost track. Just had a kid. I believe they have a daughter. Anyway, all is well in Florida, so I might go down and visit them this summer. Maybe. We'll see. Yuki, which part of Florida are you in? All right, before we get started, I do have some breaking news. Has nothing to do with Linux. Legendary actor Al Pacino has another kid. Uh, Robert De Niro said, "What a guy! God bless him." Al Pacino is 83 years old. He just had a kid with a young lady, and I guess you can say it was an offer he couldn't refuse. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. You know, the Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, the Godfather movies, and make you an offer you can't refuse. Well, God bless. What can I say? All right, before we talk about Ubuntu and Chrome OS and the Immutables, there is a system out there called eLive OS. I tested, I believe I tested it in the past. I think it was okay. Man, I've tested so many systems over the course of the years, since 2006, many years. This is a very lightweight system, easy to install, super lightweight. It's designed primarily for if you have like a computer laying around that's like 10 years old, and you know the PC still runs, but you want something light. I believe eLive OS will run with as little as if it's a 32-bit system, and it's nice that they still offer 32-bit. I believe it will run with as little as 256 megabytes. That's megabytes, not gigabytes of RAM. Nice. Yeah, so they have something new called Retrowave. I saw this briefly. It's like a 1980s, a 1980s-ish look, Miami Vice look, neon colors, bright colors. It certainly looks different. I believe the author of this says this will work up to machines that are 15 years old. If that's true, then that would be the same as installing Chrome OS Flex. I was able to install Chrome OS on a machine, Chrome OS Flex on a machine that originally had Windows Vista with the original hard drive from 2008. I know. It works. What can I say? Chromebooks and Chrome OS Flex, they just rock. Right? Yes. All right, so you're in the east side of Florida near Tampa. Okay, all right. I used to go down there a bit. Tampa, Clearwater, Sand Key, Indian Rocks Beach. It's been a while. My Italian country music star friend Rose Angelica I believe is near Tampa, St. Pete. She keeps winning awards. God bless her. She is a retired school teacher. Anyway, just search Rose Angelica. I don't think she's too far from where you are at. And you are using Linux Mint because Ubuntu Mate is not the same as it used to be. Okay, I think both are still good. But yes, I'm actually streaming this with Linux Mint Cinnamon. All right, give me a minute or two. I'm going to refill my coffee real quick. I should have just made a big cup. Stupid me. But give me a minute or two. We'll come back and we'll talk about the blog Ubuntu Core as an immutable Linux system. It appears they are copying Chrome OS. I guess if you're going to copy something, copy from the very best. It appears that Chrome OS was years ahead of its time. Chromebooks, years ahead of its time. All right, give me 2 minutes. I'll be back. Don't go away, and we'll talk about this. All right, I'm back. I love Keurig coffee machines. By the way, this is not a sponsored, corporate sponsored video, but if anybody from Keurig machines happens to come across and watch this and would like to sponsor a video, a live show, I would gladly accept a sponsorship, an offer from Keurig coffee machines because I use it. They're the best. So thank you, Keurig. For the rest of you, if you would like to help sponsor these live shows and support the channel, please do. There are a couple links below, PayPal and Patreon. Many times I will transcode these videos into podcasts and post it on the Total OS Patreon page as a thank you. So thank you. All right, let me refresh the chat real quick, and looks like we are up to date. All right, Yugi. Yeah, take a look at the music. Yeah, it's my dad's tunes. He started sending me the tunes, like I said, it was right before the pandemic. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and talk about this Ubuntu Core, which has been around 5 years, maybe longer, as an immutable Linux desktop system. Now this will be coming to us as a choice between the standard Ubuntu download, which I do believe is still Debian based as far as I know, or an immutable system which will be Snap based or Snap packages based, if I read this correctly. I personally try to avoid snaps and Flatpaks in general. They've been somewhat, it's hard to predict if and when they're going to, if they will work. Although with Linux Mint, and I'm running this podcast here with Linux Mint Cinnamon, I think there are 1 or 2 Flatpaks installed. I believe the Chrome web browser, I believe, is a Flatpak. They are still feel slightly slower than the standard .deb files. Sometime, at least with the snaps, they wouldn't launch. They took forever to launch. I won't rehash that problem. Most of you probably know. But it seems that Flatpaks tend to be more reliable, not as unpredictable as the Snap packages. Again, I'm not an expert on snaps or Flatpaks. Getting back to this immutable Linux desktop base, I believe this will start with the next Ubuntu LTS, scheduled for release, I guess, about a year from now? Next year. Let me go ahead and go to this and we'll talk about it. All right. Quick check at the stream. It looks like it still looks good. Very good. Okay, this is from the Ubuntu blog from May 31st. All right, so Canonical began the development of the Ubuntu core in 2014 to create a fully containerized platform. Now, there's a lot to read here. I won't read all of this. The containerized approach means that each piece of the system is tamper-proof and can be updated cleanly and independently. It means that you can run apps which you don't trust to see everything on your system. You only trust them with the data they themselves are supposed to manage. Okay. Let's scroll down a little more. Desktop software is in many ways trickier to containerize than the server or the IoT software because we want our desktop apps to work well together. All right, that tight integration also makes it more difficult to define the sandbox boundaries between applications and system components in a way which is both secure, easy to use. Snaps are a little famous for having some rough edges on the desktop. A little rough. You guys might recall I installed the Snap package of Firefox. I think it took 3 minutes to launch? Minutes, as in not seconds, minutes. It took so long to launch, I grew a beard. But a bump. At least he has a good sense of humor, this writer. All right, and in due course, we think the entire system can be delivered this way. We will be excited to offer a version of the Ubuntu desktop with these new capabilities. Again, this is starting next year. Sorry, laughing at my own jokes. Ba-ba-boom. In this blog post, we discussed the architecture of immutable operating systems, benefits, drawbacks, and the role of Ubuntu, immutable Linux landscape. Okay, fair enough. Let me have another quick sip of coffee here. And he says, we also cover the rise of the immutable Linux in the desktop. Again, this is not new. It's been around since 2011 with the introduction of Chromebooks, which are fantastic. All right. The writer, this blogger, does a very good job in explaining it. Thank you, Mr. Writer. I think his name is Oliver. What is an immutable operating system? Okay. Read only. The primary characteristic of an immutable OS is that the running system cannot be directly modified by users or applications. That means that it's going to be less likely for it or for you to screw it up. Hence why Chromebooks are just about as perfect as they can be. Atomic updates. Interesting term. Updates are applied atomically, meaning they're successfully applied all at once or not at all. Again, I can only go by Chromebooks and Chrome OS Flex. I've never had an update break anything. Okay. Number 3, predictable. Because the core operating system doesn't change, its behavior is predictable across devices. The core operating system doesn't. Yes, that is true. Isolated applications. Applications are isolated from the core system and from each other, usually through containerization. Sorry, I'm singing to my dad's tunes. It's one of my favorite songs. It's the "Oh Hey, I'm Screwed" song. This ensures that changes. I don't know why I'm silly this morning. Must be the caffeine. Thank you, Keurig. This ensures that changes made by an application don't affect the core system or other applications. Do you follow? So we have at least 4 benefits. Read-only. Updates all at once. Predictable. Isolated applications. What are the benefits? Okay. Security. It is more difficult for malicious software to make changes to the system or to spread from one application to another. 100% true. Chromebooks are about as security perfect as they can be. It is virtually impossible for a Chromebook to get hit with ransomware. Do a web search, or if you know someone with the Chromebook, when was the last time they got hit with ransomware or malware? I haven't seen it. So security, 100% correct. All right, benefit number 2, stability. System files cannot be altered or deleted by accident. And atomic updates ensure that system updates do not leave the system in a partially updated and potentially unstable state. 100% correct. Again, I can only go by Chrome OS Flex, Chrome OS, and of course Chromebooks. Number 3, reproducibility. Because the OS is identical from boot to boot, it is easier to test, audit, and verify the system, as well as diagnose and troubleshoot issues. True? Yep. Number 4, manageability. Since each instance of the OS is identical, system administrators do not have to worry about unexpected changes or inconsistencies between different systems. Atomic updates and rollbacks simplify the process of applying system updates and fixing issues. You know, this is why Chromebooks were so ahead of their time. Of course, I didn't realize this in 2011. I remember the first time taking a look at a Chromebook and I thought, I was wrong. I admit it. They are the future of Linux, in my opinion. So much so that the father of Linux, Linus Torvalds, has praised them. There you go. Another quick sip of coffee here. Let me go back into the chat real quick. Ubuntu Core competitor to Fedora, yes. Well, thank you, Yugi. Your dad's music is awesome. Thank you so much, Yugi. I know you contribute through PayPal to the channel. Thank you. If there's any tunes you like, don't buy them. I'll just send it to you. Okay? Thank you. As a thank you. Dennis, how are you? He says, hi, Toss. Hello, hello. All right. Let me get out of this here and go back. All right. The drawbacks of this. Reduced flexibility. An immutable OS is less flexible than a traditional OS. Users cannot modify system files or customize their system to the same degree. Again, going with Chromebooks, 100% true. Of course, why would you want to customize or modify the system files and break something? Is that really a drawback? I suppose if you're into breaking things and customizing things and don't mind breaking them, then it would be a drawback. But for those of us who don't want to go through a bottle of Tylenol every week or every month, breaking things. All right, well, I guess if you like to customize, then this is a drawback. Okay. Number 2, the drawback of limited compatibility. Not all applications and services are compatible with the containerized or isolated environments provided by an immutable OS. Okay, that's true. 3, storage requirements. Update mechanisms often require an image snapshot storage. Isolated applications can lead to redundancy in the storage of application dependencies. This might be true with the Ubuntu and Fedora Immutables. I don't think this is a problem with Chromebooks and Chrome OS Flex. So yeah, you won't have a problem with this with the Chromebook. And finally, number 4, developer experience. While containerized development environments provide benefits such as an improved isolation and reproducibility, they may also introduce conditional complexity and limit the use of familiar tools and workflows. I can't really speak for that. I don't go into developer mode or development beta things in Chrome OS and the Chromebook. I just want it to work. Yeah. Immutable operating systems are particularly well suited to environments where stability, security, and predictability are paramount. Hello. Thank you. All right. The architecture of an immutable OS. Now here we go. This is where Ubuntu mentions Chrome OS. Da, 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 da. Ubuntu, you are copying Chrome OS. You saw the light. I've been talking about this for years. People thought I was nuts. And here we go. All right. I'm probably going to get some flack for this. That's okay. I'm a bigger boy. I can take it. You guys can keep your buggy systems and this and that. I'll stick with what I have, and I'm fine. Thank you very much. All right. Ubuntu mentions Chrome OS outside of mobile. The OS that has most effectively popularized the value of immutability, for daily users is the Linux-based Chrome OS. Yes. Chrome OS prioritizes security with a read-only system. Some of you have said, how can you call Chrome OS secure? It sucks data, it does this. I said, well. Don't confuse privacy with security. Stop. It's not the same. It may sound the same. Ideally, I would like to have 100% of both. You can't. You can get pretty close to 100% with security. But with privacy, nah. That's just the reality. Let's see. Verified boot confirms that the system has not been modified. At each stage of the boot process, I believe Chromebooks call this secure boot. Yes. Updates are handled via an A/B process, where the device stores 2 versions of the operating system, one that is actively running and the second that is inactive, but to which modifications and updates can be applied in the background. If those modifications are successfully applied, then the new version is automatically selected on the next reboot. If not, the device boots back into the existing image, making updates much more resilient. It gives an example here: running OS, updating OS, ready for update, running OS. Reboot, yeah. Running OS, updating OS, this is how Chromebooks work. Reboots, ready for the update, running OS. Okay. It mentions Fedora Silver Blue. Recent immutable Linux distros include Fedora Silver Blue, which I have not tested. Following a similar upgrade mechanism to Chrome OS, with a tool called with OS Tree. It's called OS Tree. With OS Tree, full system images are downloaded in the background when an update is available, and users can simply boot into them once installed. And there's some more information here. Mentions micro OS, ButterFS or BTRFS snapshots. containerized applications. While rebooting after a system update is often preferred because underlying changes can affect running applications or services, placing the same requirement on application upgrades is undesirable because it can lead to unnecessary disruption in the operation of the system. To resolve this, the Immutable OS's mentions above take advantage of containerized desktop applications, Docker, Flatpak, that run independently. That's the key word. They run independently of the base OS and are not considered part of the OS file system. Yes. Let me grab another sip of coffee here. I mentioned snaps. Snaps are also immutable applications. When a snap is installed, it arrives as a complete self-contained package that includes the application and all the dependencies it requires. Now, in theory, this is terrific, but man, they are so slow. During the upgrade process for a snap, the entire package is replaced atomically and user data is copied between two versions, ensuring that the application is always in a consistent state, thereby reducing the risk of issues. Yeah, snaps, when they work, they do work, but they're just slow. How Ubuntu Core combines immutability with composability. I won't go into this here. This is more technical stuff. It's showing a graphic here, traditional immutable OS versus the Ubuntu Core, and some more information here. How channels create additional flexibility. Another feature of snaps is the use of channels for updates. Each snap has 4 standard channels: stable, candidate, beta, and edge. Yes. The potential of Ubuntu Core for Linux desktops. Behind the scenes, Canonical team has been actively exploring the benefits of Ubuntu Core. The properties to Ubuntu Core are secure boot, recovery states, and hardware-backed encryption, which brings significant improvements to the security of a user's PC. More information here. You can find out more. A very good article, excellent article. Again, this is from the Ubuntu blog. Ubuntu.com/blog/Ubuntu Core as an immutable Linux desktop. So what's the true verdict of all this? Well, I don't, except for Chromebooks, I don't mess with immutable Linux desktop systems. It appears that Google has perfected this with Chromebooks, been around since 2011. And I started taking Chromebooks seriously a couple years or so ago. And since then, Chromebooks have been perfect. They just work. There is nothing to fix. You don't have to use the terminal. It's not going to give me these weird bugs like Ubuntu. When you do an update, I have no sound. And the sound driver says dummy output. Thank you very much, Ubuntu. I even tried reinstalling Ubuntu. Same bug. You just don't have this in a Chromebook. And the only reason, the main reason why I don't live stream from a Chromebook, I don't want to live stream from a small screen. Although Chromebooks are fine for streaming or content consumption. And for Windows users who don't create anything, they just want to get on the web, check their emails, maybe watch this, listen to podcasts like this for school. And that's why they're so popular. They're not for everybody, but is any system, any single computer for everyone? I don't think that's probably realistic either. Let me go back into the chat here. Yeah, as far as this goes, you guys, look, if you really want to know what this is all about, the potential of an immutable system, try the Chrome OS Flex. I don't think you will be disappointed. Like I said, I have it installed on a machine with Windows Vista originally. It's been pretty impressive. So yeah. Yeah, there's mention here in the chat of Vanilla OS. Yeah, going completely snap is not what the average user would. What it's like, Ubuntu's not giving an option to users to like the snap or all dead packages. Yeah, this is coming out next year. It's new. Again, you'll have a choice between the snap or the non-snap version of Ubuntu. I'm curious as to how slow it's going to be, because it is going to be snap. So I don't know. Maybe we'll get the bugs worked out next year. Why is Fedora making all those immutable spins, GNOME, KDE now, Budgians? Yeah, I don't know. My guess is they've seen, well, part of it. They've seen the success of Chromebooks. And people like me promoting Chromebooks and Chrome OS Flex because it just works. Yeah, so we'll see where this goes. Yeah. Okay, Dennis says, ci vediamo. Ciao a tutti. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Spin Viking, hello. Good to see you. Live stream. Yeah, I've been doing these in the mornings just to get people overseas, Spin, from chiming in to say hello. I'm doing this mainly, for all of us here. Thank you for stopping by, Joseph and everybody else. Thank you for stopping by. I know a lot of people overseas don't always get a chance to say hello because of the time difference. So I do these, also for them. I don't do a lot of live streams. The live shows, the YouTube algorithm has changed. They don't favor live shows, which means that the revenue from these live streams is not very good. It's pretty bad. So if I did a lot of these, it wouldn't cover the cost of the channel, which can be expensive. But it is fun to do these live streams. There's no question. But it really takes the help of the community to keep these shows alive. That's the only way possible. But yeah. Anyway. The Immutables, Ubuntu, Chrome OS. What an interesting marriage. All right, I'll check my messages here. And, yeah, all's quiet this morning. All right, I'll stick around a little bit longer until the time it takes to finish my coffee. Anybody else new watching? Please do say hello. Yeah, sometimes I'll take a look at Distro Watch. I don't do a lot of reviews anymore, Yugi, to be quite honest. Um, Not as much. I may mention something, but since really Chromebooks, Chrome OS has become, in my opinion, the Linux desktop global standard in terms of predictability, reliability, security, ease of use. It's yeah. Who knew? But yes. So when something new comes out, I kind of mentally compare it to Chromebooks and Chrome OS Flex, meaning how reliable, how stable is it? How fast is it? How easy is it to use? Do updates break the system or break something in the system? Yeah, the newest one I took a brief look at was eLive OS, a very lightweight system. Yeah, once Ubuntu switched from Unity to GNOME, that pretty much changed everything for me. It wasn't quite a shock when they switched from the GNOME 2 desktop to Unity, although I remember back then many people hated it. I think it was fine. But yeah, the GNOME switch, GNOME shell was quite a shock, I'll be quite honest. So all right, let's give this a 5-minute warning, then we'll wrap this up. ASPN has a Toshiba satellite. I believe that's what I have. That's running Chrome OS Flex. So, yeah. So the key benefit here really is stability for an immutable system. No headaches, nothing to fix, no surprises. Yeah, I think so. This might be the future of operating systems. I think the pandemic and post-pandemic, I think, may have changed how people, you know, live their lives or how want to live their lives. They're just looking for less and less stress, less headaches, less things to fix, and enjoy their activities more. And any system that's going to be less of a headache, I think is the future. Yeah. Hello, Razor. Welcome. I did post a video on how to turn on the Linux environment on a Chromebook. It's actually quite easy. So if you have a Chromebook, check it out. It's running Debian Bullseye, I believe. Yeah, Chrome OS Flex on a ThinkPad should be fine. Yeah, Razor, not sure how you feel about immutable distros. The ideas are good, but I'm always changing desktop setup and application as needs change. Yeah, I haven't tested any of these new systems, new distributions. Like I said, the only experience I have is with the Chromebooks. I feel no need really to customize and change things. I just want it to work. But for the Chromebooks, at least, and what they were designed to do, they are really good. You just want to turn it on and get them going. And if that's what people are looking for, then that is the future. So yeah. All right. Anything else before we wrap this up? I'm out of coffee. Need to get cleaned up. I still say it sounds like a movie. Instead of The Incredibles, The Immutables. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much for stopping by. Always a pleasure. If I missed you, you can replay this, and I'll catch you sometime on the next one. I was hoping to see some people here from overseas. I think, Dennis, you're from overseas, I believe, if you're still in the house. But hit and miss, but that's all right. All right, my friends, if you try one of these immutable systems or Chrome OS Flex, let me know. I'm curious to see what you think. The future of Ubuntu, possibly the future of Linux. Big change. The immutable OS. All hail the Chromebook. Ciao.